Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. Will Kenny Pickett have a breakout season in year 2? Kenny Pickett, last year we seen Kenny Pickett get the start around, week 4 or 5? As on the Jet game, around the Jets game. And, that game, we seen some flashes. We did have a lead in that game. It was up 20-10, and the Steelers kind of blew the lead. Defense played a little bad. Offense got some. They couldn't get anything going in the second, the third quarter, late third quarter, fourth quarter, like that. And they kind of got the Jets back in the game a little bit. And Kenny Pickett finished that game with 3 interceptions. But if you just look at the stats, you probably say that, oh, he played bad. But if you actually watch the game, Claypool had the one where he got mossed by, I think, a 5'9" corner just over the top of him like that, and took the ball from his hands. And we seen one Pat Freiermuth at the ball in his hands and it kind of fell out a little bit. And then we seen the Hail Mary. Hail Mary just to throw a prayer up, and hopefully somebody catch it and get picked off. So some of those interceptions a little bit like fluky. Of course, you go to quarterback record, but it's a little bit like, are those really on him? Or those really not him? Or those 50-50 like that? But Kenny Pickett started off the first half of the season like 2 different players, like a flip of a coin a little bit. The first half of the season, Kenny Pickett, before the bye week, he played a little too wild. He played a little too wild. He made some bad reads, some bad throws. We've seen some flashes of some good things as well, but he made some bad throws, some bad reads, and he was just kind of like a little wild all over the place. But the second half of the season, he became a different player. And one thing I love about Kenny Pickett too, I seen last year, he adapted and changed his style up a little bit like that, and been more poised. He became more poised, and he was more patient in the pocket as well, like that. Instead of like just going out like he was doing at first, like the one against the Dolphins, he ran out and scrambled. He should have just kept running a little bit, got out of bounds like that, and save, get a few yards and like live to fight another down. But he tried to force one back at the end zone, and his receiver wasn't on the same page, and he got picked off. So we've seen different plays like that, like him trying to do that early on. But in the second half of the season, we see him be more patient in the pocket and rely on some of the other like some of the check downs and stuff. Like sometimes you can take a check down here and there. You see Najee Harris, a guy who could take a 2-yard catch or reception and make it to a 10-yard or 12-yard play like that by breaking a tackle or delivering a stiff arm or something. We've seen Kenny Pickett drop back and then look over and take a check down here and there in the second half of the season and start just playing smart and just start like taking finding the open man, not forcing passes, just trying to get a big play to happen, and then taking shots when necessary. And we've seen like a different player. He started playing more confident like that, and started playing like more mature like on the field. And it was very good to see. And we started seeing the Steelers win games. And I believe he went 7-5 as a rookie. I think because he beat the Panthers, he beat the Saints. He beat the Panthers, Saints, Browns, Ravens, Raiders, Falcons, and Colts. And the Buccaneers game, technically, he will get that win as well because he started the game, but Mr. Trubisky finished the game, so he'd be 8-5 technically. But the games he fully played through, he's 7-5, 2 games above 500, which is very good, very good. Now, if you look at the numbers and look at his stats, you probably think that he played bad this entire season. But sometimes the way you got to do like the stat test and the eye test a little bit, you got to kind of like find a medium ground between both of them. Like look at the numbers and then look at the eye test. He won games. He made big-time plays, and he had some game-winning drives. I believe he had 4 game-winning drives last year, 3 or 4 game-winning drives. I know the Colts game, I believe so, the Raiders game, and the Ravens game, and I think the Falcons game too. He had a game-winning drive. So he had some game-winning drives last year. He made some plays, and he showed you his clutchness. And last year I thought he was just a guy who's gonna be pretty good, like type of player like that. You can still win with pretty good type of guys. But as I've seen some of those games, like in those situations where like our playoff hopes was on the line, like the game was on the line, and like it comes down to his last drive, you can't not turn the ball over, and you have to go out there and you have to score a touchdown. And against the Ravens and against the Raiders, he delivered and made big time plays and big time throws, getting out the pocket and scrambling over, finding Najee Harris for the win. And I remember the Christmas game before that Ravens game, dropping back and then finding George Pickens in the middle, and on 4th down getting the QB sneak and all that stuff like that. So he went out there and made plays and showed clutchness and showed confidence that in those moments, in those situations when the game is on the line, when the pressure is on, he can go out there and deliver. So Kenny Pickett, I believe he's going to have a breakout year this season. He's due for a big-time season, I believe so. I can see him throwing 25-plus touchdowns and rushing for probably 4 or 5 because he do like to run, too, as well. Hopefully start sliding a little more, too, as well. But Kenny Pickett going to have a big year this year, hopefully. And, yeah, we see a lot of quarterbacks like that have those type of breakout years. Trevor Lawrence had one last year, sophomore season, a little jump. Most of the time you see a quarterback, you know who a quarterback is or know who a player is in general by their 3rd year. But the 2nd year, you kind of see, like, if it's going to be a jump, a leap, or it's going to just be the same like level, and he'd be like, okay, I know what type of player I'm getting. And some players like Trevor Lawrence, like I mentioned before, he didn't make that jump, started playing better. In his rookie year, he showed some flashes, but bad coaching and bad environment and stuff, a lot of off the field stuff for Urban Meyer, kind of like messing things up around the organization, around the team chemistry and stuff. But then once they got a good coach like Doug Peterson came along, and Trevor Lawrence became like different like that, he started showing that talent and why he was the first pick and why he was one of the highly graded talent since Peyton Manning and since Andrew Luck and stuff like that. So we're gonna see a different dynamic, hopefully, from Kenny Pickett in his second year, his sophomore jump like that. The team, you know, everybody's rooting for him, of course. Mike Tomlin was raving about him, saying that his growth, and he's saying that Kenny Pickett is going to be very spectacular, seeing like his leadership and seeing how he's like just growing beneath their eyes and stuff like that. And like next year, you know, next year is the year to do the things. Like next year and the year after next is the year for the Steelers to kind of go all out a little bit. You have to pay your quarterback until like later down the line, you know, a few more years from now, 3 more years from now. So it's kind of the year to go all out, like make the splash play. We see Patrick Peterson get on, we see him sign Cole Holcomb and other guys, and we see him going to do the draft as well. And we're gonna see how the season go. I have a good feeling about the season. Last year I had a all right feeling. I kind of like lied to myself a little bit, saying that the Steelers could do this like that, but I was still a little shaky. I was like, I don't know about Mr. Trubisky. I don't know about this season, but for this season right here, the way our team is kind of transitioning, the pieces we added in free agency so far, and the way the draft is coming up, I have a good feeling that this is going to be a good year for the Steelers, for us to finally get a playoff win again, and for us to finally like get back to like that like championship like standard and like contender like. So hopefully Kenny Pickett can make that second year jump. We're rooting for him, of course, like that. That's our boy KP8. But that's all I got for the video today, guys. And let me know in the comment section down below if you guys think Kenny gonna make that second year jump. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.